Hi guys, welcome to week 3 of the Let's Cook with Parmco program. This week, it's all about desserts, but not just any type of desserts. The fantastic people at the Healthy Food Guide magazine have come up with 2 super plays on an apple strudel and also the other beautiful dessert which will be a fondant. First up though is the apple strudel. It's extremely easy to make and good for you because we're using phyllo pastry. Now phyllo pastry has next to no fat, which is a good thing, and it crisps up deliciously, making a fantastic dessert. But there is a couple of things you need to do first, and that is take your sheets out in single layers. You spray a little bit of olive oil spray over the top, and you need 6 of those layers, so I'll do a couple for you. As you can see, they're really thin, so I'm keeping them under a little bit of a damp towel there, just to ensure they don't dry out too much, and I'll be able to roll them. So a light spray over the top, followed by another sheet. Using the olive oil spray is a lot better than using butter. Now, while that's sitting for a couple of minutes, okay, we need to get into the next ingredients. So I've got 2 apples already grated into here. I'm not even going to bother to peel it. I'm just going to grate them straight in. So 3 apples grated. Okay. Reserve those. Into that mix, we've got half a cup of just finely sliced dried apricots. Again, delicious sweetness, a natural sweetness in there, but a nice texture. Teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of mixed spice, straight in. Followed by a tablespoon of custard powder. Now this gives it a really nice, holding everything together, and a really nice creamy texture. And then of course, half a cup of blueberries. You could use any berries that you like in here. I've just got some frozen blueberries, and they go straight in. You don't have to worry about thawing them out or anything. Okay, just give everything a nice stir together. You can see there, really well combined. The smell is delicious. It's almost ready for the oven. Okay, so to roll anything, you don't want to place the filling in the centre. You need to place it closer to you. So what I'm going to do is not take all of the moisture out of the bottom of the bowl there. Try and let a little bit of it drain out, because what could happen is it'll bleed out on the bottom of the phyllo. A little bit of that will probably happen anyway at home. Don't worry about it. Doesn't affect the taste at all. Okay, so line that across. You want to keep it fairly even. Now go right to the end. Doesn't matter if a little bit comes out. You want to take it till about 1 inch or 2 centimetres from the very end. Okay, so there we have it. Now you can see I've left a little bit of liquid under there. Now that will bleed, as I said. Don't worry about it though. It'll taste perfect at the end. Now this is probably the hardest part of the whole dessert, and that's the roll. So both hands, carefully, bringing everything together, keeping it quite tight, but don't compress it in, and then gently roll forward. All the way to the end, and then very gently just press that down like so, and lift it onto your tray. Okay. Once it's on the tray, got a little bit of milk here. Okay, you could spray it with a little bit more oil. I'm just going to go for a nice milk finish on here. Could use an egg wash as well. The milk nice and light though, keeping it as healthy as possible. And all this will do is make it go nice and golden. Okay, I've got my oven preheated, so it's ready to go in. Now, 15 to 20 minutes. The thing to remember though is to watch that carefully, because what happens with phyllo is that as it starts to brown, it browns really rapidly. So keep an eye on it. It should be perfect. 15, 20 minutes. It's been 15 minutes now, and I know it must be just about ready because the room is smelling delicious. It smells of apples, apricots, cinnamon and mixed spice. So just time to have a look. Okay, so we're nearly ready to serve. There's just a couple of little things we've got to do first, and that's number 1, get it off that hot tray. Now it may stick a little bit because it's so beautiful and delicious, so the juice from the berries will come out. But this is the part where you need to be really careful, because you don't want to break it. Move it across to the side, really carefully, straight over onto a board. Okay, now to serve, you could slice it into nice slices obviously, but I just want to show you just how good it is on the inside. So I'm just going to slice it straight through the middle. a really nice sharp knife with not a lot of pressure. You don't want it to all smash apart. And there you have it. The beautiful strudel in the centre. I can smell it, it's lovely. And to finish, I'm just going to dust it with a little bit of icing sugar. Okay, now I know that there's a lot of healthy aspect to that dessert, but I'm going to serve it instead of cream with a little bit of yogurt. What I find is it just cuts through the richness of the fruit. You don't need to have cream all the time. But to tell us a little bit more about why this strudel is so fantastic, I've got Nikki from the Healthy Food Guide magazine. She's going to tell us a little bit more about why it's so good for you.
Yum, that looks amazing.
Smells pretty good too, doesn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. So this is fantastic because you have hardly added any fat at all, just that little bit of a spray oil, and the phyllo pastry doesn't have very much fat in it at all itself.
Absolutely.
So it's a really good choice. And there's hardly any sugar in here either. The sugar all comes from the beautiful fruit.
Yeah, I noticed that, when you're taking it off the tray, it sticks a little bit, and that's just because of the sugar in the berries and the apples. It's quite amazing, really. What I also find is I usually use butter, but I've got exactly the same result in using that olive oil. So you've got less calories, it's better for you, and this result is actually the same.
Yeah, it turns out a beautiful dessert that you can have, from time to time as a treat, and you won't have to feel bad about it.
Absolutely. You know what, guys, you've seen mine, you've seen how delicious it looks. Get cooking at home, but most importantly of all, upload your photographs so that friends and family, your community can get behind your school, and hopefully you'll be able to win some prizes. So get cooking.